Coming up on this episode of NPS Now, student businesses flourish at PB Young, new teachers learn about classroom management, and Chesterfield Academy wins a special award. All that and more next on NPS Now. Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. This week we'll be highlighting events from the end of summer and the start of the brand new school year. As part of their summer academy, 4th and 5th grade students at PB Young Elementary learned all about the business world in their Young Entrepreneurs program. This unique program, which was possible thanks to a partnership with MH West & Company, enables students to learn how businesses are run before starting their own company.
In each company, there is a CEO, there's a business manager, there are the workers, there are the advertisers, and all who make up that company. So you see different people doing different things. That's because they learn how a business runs, the manners of a business. How do you attract your customers? So we have a lemonade stand going, we have a face painting stand, and a photography stand.
They've done everything from developing business plans to marketing and doing other activities and events that really are very important if you're going to be successful at business, but being successful at life and particularly as a student. And we see this as a vehicle to help move the students from A to Z, but we give them skills that hopefully they can use for a lifetime.
All the funds students raised from their businesses were matched by MH West and donated to a charity of their choice. Prior to the start of the school year, the Rotary District Foundation and the Rotary Club of Norfolk presented checks equaling $10,000 to Lindenwood Elementary. The funds will be used to build a computerized literacy lab at the school.
We are absolutely delighted to be presenting a total of $10,000 for a literacy and learning lab at Lindenwood Elementary. It is part of the club's 100th anniversary celebration where we're giving $100,000 to various charities throughout the Norfolk community, and we are delighted to be doing this on behalf of the club and also the Rotary District.
I can't explain to you the excitement and the exuberance that I feel to be chosen to be able to do something for our children at Lindenwood who are so deserving. They are so brilliant and so smart. They deserve this, and I'm glad that the Rotary Club has decided to help Lindenwood.
Each year, just before the start of school, Norfolk Public Schools holds its new teacher orientation. Here's a look at this year's event.
In August, over 100 educators gathered at Lake Taylor High School for Norfolk Public Schools' new teacher orientation. This 3-day introduction is designed to give new teachers valuable information about their jobs through speakers, vendors, and workshops. This year, NPS's new teachers were in for a special treat when Dr. Harry Wong and his wife Rosemary spoke to them about the importance of classroom management and effective teaching.
Rosemary and I teach effective teaching because that's the only way kids will ever succeed. They don't succeed with programs, they succeed with an effective teacher. What we teach applies to everyone. We've spoken to urban, we've spoken to Indian reservations, we've spoken overseas. How you run a classroom, how you teach the subject matter is universal.
They're saying that we can go out tomorrow and do something in our classroom and make a difference. And I think that's what Harry and I have to offer. You don't need to sit and think about it for a long period of time. You don't need to go and order something to make it happen in your classroom. What we say, you can immediately go back and implement, and after you implement it, you actually see a change, a difference in the classroom.
For the new teachers that attended, this gave them helpful information to take back to their classrooms on the first day of school.
Hearing his voice is going to be very thrilling, considering we just get to flip through the pages of his book. We're all just really excited. We're hoping we can take something away and bring it to our classroom and make the Harry Wong experience come alive in our room.
Today we've provided an opportunity for our new teachers to experience the workshop, the classroom management workshop, because that's the number one
concern and challenge that our new teachers have, the classroom management of the procedures, running the classroom, having students being able to do the things that need to be done so that they can learn. And it has been proven that if the classroom management is effective, the learning proceeds. You've got to have that in place so they become the managers of the classroom.
All of Norfolk Public Schools teachers had the opportunity to hear nationally recognized author Dr. Eric Jensen speak about teaching with poverty in mind. During this 3.5-hour seminar, Dr. Jensen discussed the neuroscience of brain development and offered teachers numerous strategies designed to help them engage all students.
A key message is that every single student needs to graduate, and they need to graduate job ready or college ready. That means 100%. So the goals I set are high goals, but they're important. 100% of the kids to graduate, and that means kids who come from poverty and everyone at school to graduate. That's the message. The second thing that teachers hear is they hear that they make a bigger difference than they think they do. They have more influence over how things turn out with their students than they think they do. So the prevailing message is teachers not just make a difference, but they are the single biggest difference makers.
Nearly every employee from across the district gathered at the Norfolk Scope just before the start of school to celebrate accomplishments and get inspired at the annual NPS convocation. Numerous schools were recognized for their hard work by Superintendent Dr. Samuel King. And Lake Taylor High School fine arts teacher Clayton Singleton entertained the crowd with an inspiring message about the importance of teaching young people.
You're an educator when you come in with your lesson plan and your curriculum and this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I want to do. You're an educator. You can't even claim teacher because teachers are about the people. You feel me? Teachers are about the people. And I'm not talking about teachers in the classroom. I'm talking about teachers at the crosswalk. I'm talking about teachers in the food service line. I'm talking about teachers with security across their back. I'm talking about teachers that wear blue uniforms, make sure you can get up in the classroom every day. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about teachers to make sure your room temperature is right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about teachers who are instructional leaders in the building that when you tell me I'm not doing something correctly, you can show me how. I'm talking about teachers. Because not everyone's a teacher. Some people just paid to do it. And some people are made to do it.
Chesterfield Academy got their school year off to a great start by being recognized as one of the top 3 schools in Virginia for outstanding innovation in physical fitness. PE classes at Chesterfield consist of a variety of physical activities, including one that combines aerobic exercise with kickboxing. Chesterfield is the only elementary school in the state that won, and they will be awarded a $100,000 fitness center during a special ceremony in October.
Oh, we're really thrilled. We do believe in educating the whole child, and fitness is a huge part of what Chesterfield Academy is about. So we're very excited.
I think we were chosen because we really have a great PE program here. We really stress the importance of exercise, nutrition, and just doing things to keep you healthy, because we know that if you're healthy, academics go hand in hand with that. So I think we proved that we were deserving of this award.
The Norfolk Education Foundation and Norfolk Public Schools hosted the 3rd annual A+ Community Partners Football Tailgate Party at Booker T. Washington High School. Community members showed up to celebrate the Battle of the Elizabeth River as the Bookers took on the Wilson High School Presidents. The school board of the City of Norfolk will hold a public works session on the 12th floor of the School Administration Building on Wednesday, October 1st at 1 p.m. The work session will be aired live on WNPS-TV 47 and on the NPS website. If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, please be sure to contact us at npsnews@npsk12.com. Stay tuned for more NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Setmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we're going to continue our fall preview, and we're going to talk a little bit about field hockey. And we have Lauren Meyer, the head field hockey coach at Maury High School. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get into field hockey and the Maury Commodores, let's talk a little bit about you. What's your background? How'd you get involved in coaching?
I started playing at a very young age at Salem Middle School, and then I was a graduate in 1998 at Salem High School, where I was a field hockey player. I went on a full scholarship to Virginia Commonwealth University and continued to play field hockey. And then I moved out to Austin, Texas, where I went ahead and coached for 7 years at a private school out there called St. Andrew's Episcopal before moving back to continue my pursuit at Maury High School.
All right, and how long have you been at Maury now?
This is my second year at Maury High School.
Okay, and you're the varsity coach, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so last year you were the JV coach but involved with the varsity team, so that gave Ed a kind of an up in terms of hiring a coach.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And that's always a plus to have somebody involved in your program.
Yes.
All right, you're a coach at Maury High School, but you're a little different. You're outside the building. Versus where we have some coaches that are in the building day to day with their student athletes. What kind of challenges does that pose for you and for your team?
I think it's actually better to be outside the building and on my behalf. My husband and I own a business called Meyer Fitness in Ghent. We train athletes and we do one-on-one training. And we also have a 2-year-old daughter that just turned 2. And I feel as if coming from outside of the building, I feel like they have somebody to go to. And first and foremost, before being a coach on the field, you really want to emphasize being a coach off the field and building these girls and guiding these girls in life in general versus just in play.
And having good leadership at that level is real important for the molding and shaping of a young lady.
Absolutely.
In that student athlete.
It's a very influential age, yes.
So we appreciate that. So we want you to continue to do that. And I'm sure the wins will come with how you do.
We hope so.
with that. So let's talk a little bit about field hockey. Maury High School has been a consistent program at the Eastern District level, the old Eastern Region level before you started coaching, and then even in the state play. How do you see with the new conferences, how can Maury stay consistent and how do you continue to build that program, how you inherited that?
The momentum of the program is key to just sticking together and playing as one. I feel that the base of everything comes from the history of the Maury program. We've had numerous varsity coaches that have gotten us to this point. So if we can continue with our stride, that would be awesome. I think at the high school level, especially Maury, key is to play at Blair Middle School and have the education behind the sport of field hockey by getting involved with clinics and clubs that are offered throughout Virginia Beach area. So clinics and clubs and camps are key to progression for our program in general.
Right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your conference. That's a challenge. You're in a very competitive conference. So how's Maury going to do this year in their conference, and what teams in the conference can you talk about that we need to look for?
I think we would do extremely well. I mean, as a coach, I want to go all the way. I highly think we will go pretty far. Princess Anne is definitely and has been a threat for us. So Princess Anne would probably be our biggest rival at this point. So
So what other teams are in your conference?
We have Princess Anne.
And Norview High School from Norfolk.
Sure.
Okay. Kempsville, Salem High School, your former
Salem
team.
High School, yes.
So those are the teams that you're going to play in the regular season. And then out of that, how you place, the top 4 will go into that conference tournament. So you think you can get in that top 4? We want you in that top 4.
I believe with all of my heart we can.
So out of that conference tournament, the top 2 then advance to the state play. Okay, so the state is divided into a north and a south region. And so we hope Maury can get to that level.
Me too.
All right, well, we're going to look for that. So You've talked about your team a little bit, but you haven't singled out any players. You have 10 seniors, and that's a lot.
We do have 10 seniors.
Because we hope your JV team is following these seniors.
They're ready.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the players.
Yeah, we have, all of my players are very influential towards the team, but we do have Ashley Nottingham, who has verbally committed to William and Mary Field Hockey, who is a big part of our team, and as well as Hannah Fox, who just verbally committed to VCU, which I'm very proud of, and Christina Bashera, who has just verbally committed to ODU for soccer, actually, who are extremely, are very huge key players on our team. But I can't put aside all my sophomores and all of my freshmen and our goalie, Grace Chavez, very influential towards our team, and Rebecca Gaddy and Maggie News. Everybody has a role in where we're going.
And that's a team. It's just not a one. It's not a one-person group. So
everybody is huge,
and that's important. You talk about scholarships, and that's really interesting to hear that you have some athletes that are advancing on to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want to kind of go back to a question. In Norfolk, field hockey's, you have a strong program. Granby High School has had a consistent program. Same way with Norview. They have girls going out, but Booker T and Lake Taylor, they struggle a little bit about getting girls out.
Sure.
Like with basketball and baseball and softball, they have young leagues that instill some skill development and some passion for the sport.
Sure.
How can field hockey and can field hockey in this area do that?
I believe so. I think it really, as I mentioned earlier, it starts at the middle school age, but as early as 4 years old, they have programs at the Virginia Beach Fieldhouse and Virginia Beach, and a lot of clinics out in the Virginia Beach area. If they're willing to take the trip to the beach, they have all the opportunities in the world. It's unfortunate that Norfolk hasn't had a club out here yet, or any opportunity besides middle school play.
So there are some avenues out there.
Absolutely.
They just need to get out there and explore and find those.
Absolutely.
Well, Lauren, a lot of good information. We thank you for being here.
Thank
we
you.
wish the Commodores good luck, and we hope they get travel and advance as far as they can to represent Norfolk Public Schools. And you're doing a nice job at that.
Thank you so much.
We
I
thank you for
appreciate
that.
it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. With me today is the Executive Directors for Elementary Schools, Dr. Pat Malisi and Dr. Denise Charbonnet. Welcome, ladies, to NPS Now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm glad to have you on. I think you were the last of the directors to come on. We spoke to Dr. King, Mr. Coleman, and we're talking about accreditations and the positive challenges and things of that nature that we're doing in the school district. And so, what are we doing to keep our schools fully accredited? Who'd like to take that question?
Wow, we're doing a lot. First of all, again, thank you for having us on. It is always a privilege to speak publicly about what our schools are doing. I think it's important that everyone knows the wonderful things that are taking place in our schools. And one of them is a laser-like focus on academic rigor. And so what we're doing to keep our schools accredited, those schools that are already accredited, basically, they do the same thing that the schools that are warned or the schools that are priority or focused do. They do the same accountability. They use InduStar. And of course, everyone follows very closely Dr. King's cycle for results. Our job is to go in and monitor that cycle for results is being implemented with fidelity.
So you go in to inspect what you expect?
Absolutely.
How is that happening in your schools, Dr. Charbonnet?
Well, we are looking at the fully accredited schools slightly differently in terms of our monitoring. First of all, when you're fully accredited and you have a proven record of success, we look at those successful practices, and certainly we want those to continue. So we go in and we monitor that those things are actually happening. We also have safety net funds that all schools receive, and our fully accredited schools are no different. We go in and ensure that every child reaches their full potential. That is, every tiered student, including our students who are performing at the top, because we want to expand the ceiling as well as bring up the floor, as Dr. King says.
Glad you brought up safety nets. What does that look like in our elementary schools? We've talked about it on the middle and high school level, but for elementary, what does the safety nets look like? Don't all speak at once.
They, on elementary, they look like people. Safety nets look like people. We have done lots of in-house action research with programs, and we have found that the most effective safety net is more people working with children. So you will find that in the form of tutors. We have safety net specialists who are a lot of our retirees who have come back to work with our students. They are trained using the current curriculum, and they come in and work with, as Dr. Charbonnet said, our tiered students and get them up to par. So they will be working with small groups of students throughout the course of a school day.
We also look at safety nets in terms of program expansion.
Okay.
Achieve 3000 right now is being utilized in all of our elementary schools, and some schools use Achieve 3000 as part of after-school programs, as well as things that happen during the course of the school day when we're looking at helping our students achieve reading targets.
So what about the schools that are close to accreditation? They're just like right there knocking on the door. What are we doing to help those schools?
I think we have to be even more focused with those schools, and I do have a few of those schools that I'm working with. I think we have to look closely at the warned area. We go in and really work with the principal in terms of providing feedback to those teachers in the classroom, especially in those warned areas. What can we do? What things can we do? Small things, maybe, that would get us to the next level. So I think it becomes about effective instruction in the classroom and effective lesson planning as well.
And one other thing that we must be sure to monitor in schools that are warned and very close to being accredited is that they don't slip in the area where they are not warned. It seems that historically in education, when we put a focus on a single subject, other subjects tend to suffer a bit. So we go in and make sure that a focus is being put on all areas and nothing's being left out.
So what role does professional development play in ensuring that our students keep and maintain accreditation and then come up to accreditation? How does professional development play?
Well, professional learning is huge in Norfolk. We're looking at expanding in terms of what our teachers are provided in content areas and classroom management. We're looking at a school that has teachers who have been there a long time, but we do have new teachers who come into a building. Well, at that time, we provide mentors for our new teachers. We also look at teachers in various stages of their teaching career, and there are times when you need a more individualized program of professional learning. And that's what we're helping our principals to provide for teachers. Lots of professional learning goes on in schools. It really happens a few times a month in some buildings. And so we help principals by accompanying them on focus walks, and at that time we observe the strengths and weaknesses of the teachers in the classroom, and we assist in providing professional learning as it is needed. And each school has a professional development plan that is executed throughout the year.
Great. And one of the things I've noticed over the years, having been with Norfolk for a while, and it has been delightful these last 2 years, is that we have totally moved to the professional learning community. You'll hear it referred to as PLC movement, to where every one of our gatherings are professional learning communities. So when we meet with our principals, we learn from each other. We share strengths and weaknesses, but mostly we play on people's strengths. What you're strong in, I might not be. So when we're in a professional learning community, we can share all of that. And so then we've had the principals bring professional learning communities to their schools. And so now, instead of the sit and get kind of professional development, we have a community of learners, of lifelong learners in each school that help each other learn.
And the principals, in turn, help the parents.
Absolutely.
Learn through their different activities and programs in the schools to help the students around SOL time or throughout the school year.
Yes. Well, parental engagement has been a focus, especially, I think, these last 2 years. It's always been a focus. But when we look at IndoStar, which is an online way that we are looking at school improvement through goals and objectives online that our principals respond to. And we have real-time 24/7 access to their IndoStar plans. These plans ensure that our leadership teams focus on parent engagement.
And keeping them involved.
Keeping parents involved in everything that we do and communicating with all of our stakeholders.
Great. I want to thank you ladies for coming on and giving us the elementary perspective on accreditation, and we'll definitely have you back on the show again to talk more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. Again, thank you for watching NPS Now.